What is up, everybody, and welcome to FLW Videos. In today's episode, if you can't tell by the background, we are going to be talking about the ideal Halloween event in Pokemon Go. For reference, we will be talking about what Niantic did during the last year's event, as well as including some information related to the Psychic event that happened before the Halloween event. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the episode. So first things first, when we're talking about an ideal Halloween event, let's just kind of talk about some of the core mechanics that happened last year that is destined to happen again during this new Halloween event. For instance, talking about double candy, not just from catches, but from hatching, from transferring, so many different ways. That definitely seems to be related to Halloween, and handing out candy, I guess. But I guess I want to go ahead and begin with a tip because of this double candy. With the Mewtwo event ending a couple of days before Halloween, it might actually be a very smart idea to hold on to all of your Mewtwo's and then transfer the excess ones during the event so that you can get double candies for your Mewtwo's. Other than that, we ended up seeing the introduction of the first Generation 3 Pokemon into the game, and wow, was it exciting. Not only did we get the Generation 3 sprites, but we actually got these shiny variants along with it. There were 5 Pokemon introduced. Now, as long as we're talking about that topic, yes, it was a ton of fun in the first couple of hours, but then eventually they kind of took over all of the spawns and you caught, hundreds of them, and it got a little bit boring more towards the end of the event. But there is a saving grace to this because Generation 4 has slightly more Pokemon from the Ghost typing. So when we talk about these Ghost typing Pokemon from Generation 4, we have Drifloon, Rotom, Spiritomb, Frostlass, Dusknoir, Drifbloom, Nismagius, and Giratina. So along with these Pokemon adding on quite a bit to it, of course we would love to see some shiny sprites of these Pokemon, but not only that, a new feature that was never done last year would be adding in a legendary Pokemon, a mythical Pokemon, whatever, and putting them in as a raid boss. How fantastic would that be if you ended up seeing something like a Giratina being introduced into the legendary raids during the Halloween event? That would be incredible. Not only that, but there's also a little bit of a rumor related to Dark type. Since we had the Psychic event, now the Ghost event, but what about Dark type? Well, for Dark type, just imagine going up against a Darkrai. How cool would that be? So that art was actually done by Disney Gamer, by the way. I do have a link in the description if you would like to check out his Twitter account. But other than that, we're talking a lot about that. Let's go ahead and talk about some older Pokemon that deserve a little bit of the limelight. So when we talk about some older Pokemon that could totally be featured during this event, the first ones that come to my mind are Gengar and Alakazam. Now, unfortunately, Alakazam got shafted a little bit out of the Psychic event, and Drowsy ended up getting the shiny variant. Come on, Niantic, we all know that Alakazam was the one that everybody wanted. But with that being said, there is a little bit of a caveat to this. Could Alakazam end up receiving a shiny variant during the Halloween event? Well, it is very possible, but I can also tell you this. As long as the raid bosses don't get changed, you can get up to 40 candy for catching an Alakazam because of the double candy. So at least in that regard, you can stack up on some candy majorly. But if I had to guess which Pokemon will probably get the shiny variant as far as like an older one is concerned, my money would be on Gengar. Now, Gengar is a Pokemon that a lot of people really enjoy, and adding in a shiny sprite to it would be so much fun. So for me, if it's Alakazam, if it's Gengar, I would personally be happy with both of them besides just kind of like the new generation for Pokemon. But then that leads to the question. If we're talking about adding in a shiny variant for Gengar, a lot of people may not be as quick to adopt that Gengar because the older Gengars that have Shadow Claw are technically the best from a meta perspective. And that leads into the next wishlist item, bringing back Shadow Claw Gengar. Now I know, older players holding on to these legacy Pokemon will be absolutely mad about that, but Pokemon Go has done this before with a research task related to Snorlax gaining the move Body Slam that was Legacy. In this case, I would love to see Gengar come back with that Legacy Shadow Claw moveset. It would be absolutely fantastic. So we have talked about quite a bit of things, but in summary, go ahead and throw in those Generation 4 Ghost-type Pokemon. Along with that, allow the shiny variants to become available. In some cases, it's already available. For instance, like the Dusclops family evolving into Dusknoir, it will be available. But then what about Mischievous? Go ahead and allow that shiny variant to be added in as well, so we can have a ton of fun with some new variants. Along with that, hey, let's go ahead and add in something like a Gengar or an Alakazam as a shiny. And then, of course, we would want the legacy move Shadow Claw added in for Gengar. And then finally, something that a lot of people can get behind, and that is adding in some new legendary raid boss related to the theme. Hopefully something like a Giratina or a Darkrai would be absolutely magnificent. But I'm gonna go ahead and end on that with a question of the day. What does the ideal Halloween event look like to you? Go ahead and let me know in the comments section below, or at least let me know what your favorite part of what I listed was. Anyways, I hope you did enjoy this, and I will see you next time.
Hit me like a tidal wave.